Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of BandClap TV, man. I'm outside my crib right now. Um, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. I got an interview from the one and only Elijah Rosario. He's a fellow podcaster. He's a musician. He's a singer, doing a lot of good things out there, man. And yeah, let's get the show on the road.
I just met a shawty from the south side. Yeah, she the type of girl I need by my side. Had a couple cuties from the west coast. They be down to chill, they be down to smoke. Seen a couple women from the north side, but they be trying to flex and waste my time.
From the south side. Hey. Man, shout out to Elijah Rosario, man. I got that interview coming up in a few minutes. But before I get into that, man, just got to get into a few announcements first. Again, for all the people, all my college students, just anybody who need work, looking for, just a little side gig to bring in some income. And if you have a computer, if you have phone service, you don't mind working from home, that opportunity is still available. I looked on the portal and I saw some more work from home jobs that are now available. Some other companies who are looking to outsource customer service professionals. So if you're interested in that, my email is rfreeman0809@gmail.com, and I can send you over the application if you're interested. Again, it's rfreeman0809@gmail.com. That's my email, and I can send you the application and all the things that you would need to apply for that. Yeah, man, so a lot of good things happening this year. I had the pleasure with talking to this model slash actress, and she's going to be getting interviewed sometime next month. Also, my homegirl, Abieri, I hope I said her name right, African sister, real cool, real ambitious. She has a magazine called Drip Mag, and I'll be interviewing her next month as well. So a lot of good things going on. But man, let's talk about this music for a minute. Shout out to Cardi B. Barty. It's crazy, man, the way the music scene has turned. And that's another thing that me and Elijah had the pleasure of talking about. Got his input on a lot of things regarding that. Excuse the crazy screaming. I'm outside my crib doing this. So it came out, I think it was a couple days ago. Shout out to LovelyTi, who did the video on this. Like to shout out the people that I get my info from. Said Cardi B topped Beyonce in Billboard, having a number of songs on the Billboard charts or something like that. Cardi B had 6 consecutive Billboard chart topping singles. Beyonce, I think she has like 5. So yeah, welcome to 2018, y'all. I mean, I remember a couple days ago at my school we had this meeting and we talked about the current state of hip hop and how it's changed so much, especially with the women of hip hop. You had the pioneers like Queen Latifah talking about unity, and you had Lauryn Hill who talked about not giving in to the system, and you can still be a classy and Grammy award winning performer as a woman without having to show your ass or without having to act ratchet or anything like that. But now in this day and age, things are a lot different. Things are a lot more accepted now than it was back in the 90s. Women are able to express themselves a lot more. They have a lot more freedom of expression than say back in the 90s or something like that. Even though you did have the Lil Kims and the Foxy Browns and those type of artists back then as well, there was a lot more of a balance that I could say. And in a lot of ways, I wish it could kind of get back to that balance wise. And again, There's nothing wrong with Cardi B being where she is, but I would still like to see more of a balance where you have more classier female rappers that's getting the same shine as a Cardi B. So that's what I think about that. But all right, y'all. So without further ado, let's get this interview popping. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy it. A lot to talk about, as you know. So let's get the show on the road.
Okay, all right. So what's good? What's good?
All right, man. So first question, just tell everybody, who you are and what got you into this career that you're in. I know that you're a photographer and a singer-songwriter, so I just want you to, elaborate a little bit on that and what got you into these career paths that you're taking.
Well, let's see. Well, first of all, like I said, I come from a little town. Well, I come from a city called Augusta, Georgia. That's hometown right there. Growing up, I wasn't really into like the entertainment, artsy world. You know what I'm saying? I was more into sports. That was my thing. But the older I got, man, I just people would tell me like, "Yo, you should own your own talk show. You can talk a lot, but you speak very well." So I started looking into personality, and I was just like, all right, well, this is dope. And at first I thought I wanted to do sports talk, but I was like, that's too boring, that's too bland.
Yeah.
There ain't really much I'm really going to be able to relate to with people besides sports people, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm not doing that. And so I got more into entertainment. I got more into music, man. I think music was the first avenue for me, actually, to express myself, that and poetry. So writing poetry in like 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, and singing and just I didn't do my first song until I was in 10th grade. One of my homies back sophomore year, Ian Whiteside, and throughout the years randomly we would continue to do music together. Ooh. And then I really started taking it more serious probably around 2013. I started taking my songwriting more serious then when I was in Greensboro, North Carolina, and ever since 2013, man, I just started writing more, and I started enhancing my craft, getting better, learning how to tell a story without using too many words. And then in 2015, August 2015, I moved to Orlando, started Full Sail, and that's why I started to continue my media communications degree. So so being on television and radio has always been my biggest career chaser. But music is my passion on the inside, and photography is a way of me to express myself without even having to say anything. I feel like a picture speaks 1,000 words, so I took that avenue as well. And so I just, I like taking pictures of things and other people and sceneries. I just like to give other people the spotlight, so that's where it goes, man.
Cool. Now, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you when it comes to you as a singer. Now, I just left a talent show in Full Sail, and one of the guys, I don't want to say his name, but one of the guys, he did like a old school R&B type style, and the younger crowd, they wasn't really feeling it. As if like somebody like me or you, somebody who's older, who's probably was raised up around that, around that. Now, when I listened to a couple of your songs and the performances or whatever that you sent me for this interview, I realized that you have this old school, soulful type of vibe with a lot of stuff that you sing as well. Now, one of the questions that I want to ask you is, do you think that R&B is a lost art in this day and time? Or when you go out and perform these songs, do you get any type of pushback or anything from the younger artists or from the younger audiences when you sing, the songs that you sing?
Yes and no. I'll answer, and that's like a 3-part question. So I'll start off with the first part.
Okay.
It's when you ask me, do I feel like R&B is a lost art? I don't think it's a lost art because you got to look at the fact is R&B is rhythm and blues. It's not just Tyrese. It's not just Marvin Gaye. It's not just Stevie Wonder. It's not just, you know, Jamie Foxx and people that have made their mark in a subgenre within R&B. R&B before them, it was straight blues music. You know, it was a bunch of melancholy. It was talking about depression. It didn't just talk about love and serenading women. It talked about, you know, war. It talked about things we experience in the world. And so that, you know, R&B has so many different meanings to it. So I feel like it's not a lost art. I think it's one of those genres in the music world where it'll never really die, because there's so many ways you can play with it and approach it. So I feel like, you know, with these artists who think R&B is strictly like, you know, the whole Tyrese vibe type stuff, it's like, it's not. You know, you just got to go and study the history of it, and you got to kind of find your sound. So I feel like for a younger crowd, it's hard for them these days to really digest to someone who may be the vocalist, but nobody wants to be real with you. The younger crowd doesn't want to sit through this serenading slow shit. You know, I don't know if I can say the S word on this, but
You can't.
I don't know if we can curse on it.
You good, man.
I just know some people are like, you know, real strict about that, but nobody if you're 20, if you're 23, and if your age is 18 through 23, and I'm 23, you probably 22, 23. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, so 25 and up would appreciate being serenaded and some slow shit.
Yeah.
23 and down don't want that. All right, so you got to look at your audience, and that's what you kind of got to understand to perform. So when it comes to me, man, when I perform my music, even when I record my music, I don't ever want to go away from the people I've studied. Like Marvin Gaye is one of the biggest influences I've had in music. That's one of the people I study so much, from his melodic sound to his smooth sexual presence. It's crazy how he can make a song about death sound sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to what's my favorite joint? Inner City Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that the whole cadence of that song is so sexy, but the shit he's talking about is real. Yeah. He's giving you a story, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like for someone to have that is someone who I looked up to. And so that's what I try to give. I try to set this presence of if you can trust my voice, and that captures you. The instrumentation, it fits with this generation. The storytelling fits with someone who is really looking for substance. So I try to combine all three elements.
Ooh. Now, and piggybacking on what you were saying as far as old school versus new school, me being a DJ, I can firsthand tell you that if I play like an old school song, you know, like a Marvin Gaye or even like something like This Is How We Do It, or like one of those R&B type of songs, you know, that was like back in the 90s or something like that, like I could literally play that, get off the get off the turntables, go out, dance with the crowd, go get something to eat, use the bathroom, and come back, and people still jamming. But say if I put on like one of these new school type songs that they would say is R&B or something like that, like probably 45 seconds in, everybody stopped dancing. They're like, all right, man, turn the song. So yeah, it kind of seems like in this day and time, the attention spans of a lot of the younger listeners are very, very low. So another question piggybacking on that is, what do you do in your music to make sure that the audience stays attentive? You know, make sure that they pay attention and that they stay, I would say, enthusiastic or stay vibing to the music that you do. Well,
when we talk about recording a project or just even putting out a single, Um, those first it's something that me and my boy we always used to talk about. My boy Ian Whiteside, once again, someone I used to do music with a lot. Starting off, you have 20 seconds. You have 20 seconds into that song for people to continue wanting to listen or cut it off.
Okay.
So I think about those first 20 seconds, those first four bars. The intro of the instrumentation has to prepare you, like the anticipation. Like I feel like that's what's so powerful about the instrumentals that I choose. Like for the song My Side seems like it should be a single on its own. People have gave me that feedback, they love it. But it's really the anticipation of that instrumental, along with the fact is when you hear the beat drop and you hear the song and the first couple lyrics is I just met a shawty from the south side. Yeah, she you like, yo, this shit hot. Like, cause the thing is, if you give people something right away, they're not gonna appreciate it. But if you make them, it's you have to look at putting music. I look at music as like catering to someone at a restaurant or foreplay with a woman. At a restaurant, what do they give you? They give you water first. They tell you get a few minutes to look over the menu. Then what do? They bring you some bread and shit. This is all preparing you to want to order a big meal.
Yeah.
When it comes to foreplay with a woman is, what do? You kiss her, you touch her, you serenade her with certain stares in the eyes and shit. And you can't rush it, but you got to make her be just as anxious as men. We're already anxious, but you got to build a woman to be that anxious for you. So it's like, that's how I look at it when I write my lyrics. So I look at it when I get ready to record, or even when I'm performing, man. I think interaction with a crowd in a live performance is a lost art, because a lot of people just get up there, they do their song, and then they just be like, all right, then they introduce themselves after. Why would you introduce yourself after the song?
Yeah.
The song is over. Don't introduce yourself after the song. Like let people know who you are, and show the crowd that you need their energy so you can give them your best performance. Communication is key. So that's one thing I try to make sure I do any live performances. Interact with the crowd for about at least 30 seconds before I even start singing a song, because there's no need to rush it. The stage is your playground at that time. The moment you touch the microphone,
exactly,
it's your time to do things exactly the way you want to do it, because this is your time to either make people remember you for as long as they can remember, or they just forget about you and just like, oh, this is another artist that performed. Yeah. So make that moment memorable for the audience always.
Cool. Now, one other question that I want to ask you too. Now, this is dealing with popularity versus raw talent, and this is something. This is something that I myself, as an artist, struggle with when looking at the media and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to that, we're living in a society now that focuses more on popularity than raw talent. And, nowadays you have people like you and I who have been, performing for years and, unnoticed. But you have people like, say, Danielle Bergoli or Black China or something like that, who are being approached by labels, just because of their popularity. And you have YouTube rappers and YouTube pranksters and stuff like that, who are now getting approached by record labels. Simply because they're popular, and they know that, since you're popular and you already have a buzz, that the record labels can now use that to fuel whatever they got going, and they're starting to drop a lot of these artists who's been, who may need a little artist development or something like that, because as we know, artist development is something that, labels just aren't really trying to pay for that no more.
No more. Nah.
Now, to any other underground artist or something like that, looking at this, it may seem kind of discouraging, like, man, what's the use of me even doing this anymore if I'm not even going to get noticed unless I got a hot YouTube video out being ratchet or, something like that. So my question is, what are your thoughts on that? And what do you think the industry will end up turning into if this continues?
Okay. Well, it's funny you asked me that because I was actually talking to my mother about this last night. And I was talking to her about, with the music lately, I feel like things in America, the thing people need to understand about the American culture when it comes to music and entertainment is it's not about necessarily, it's never really been about your talent. Back in the day, there was a time it was about your talent, but it was more so about what was different. They couldn't sell it because it's all about what can I sell. If it's different, I can sell it. I use this band for example. Back in the '60s, the Beatles. They're not from America. They came from fucking England, and because their sound was so different, American record labels was like, "Yo, I can sell this."
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I got a whole nother sound I can sell. Nowadays, because social media is able to exploit so many people, that's all. It's not focusing on talent no more. The talent part is like skip. It's all about what looks different, what looks weird enough, ooh, what's ignorant enough, what can I sell for a quick few $1 million? What can I sell fast enough?
Yeah,
that's gonna keep people like wanting to invest money. So it's like that's what it is now. It's the race of selling. That's the thing is artists these days gotta understand it. If you really take this music shit serious, this is the best advice that I think I received. Not directly, but just watching an interview that was done by Mike Epps on the Drink Champs podcast. Mike Epps said something that was real deep, but it was so simple. So many people are out here paying attention to attention. The moment you stop paying attention to attention, attention will start paying you attention. But the moment you start focusing on attention paying you attention, attention is gonna forget all about you. And you're gonna be sitting there scratching your head. When he said that, man, I was just like, damn, I was like, he ain't lying. Because what you gotta understand is, man, when you focus on what people are gonna say about you, who's watching you, you get a lot said about, and it's a lot of people who are gonna reach out to you and be placed around the time when they're meant to be placed. But you just can't sit around scratching your head and moping because someone else got their opportunity to shine. I tell anybody this, I'd rather have longevity versus like a shortcoming. So
yeah.
when you're pursuing a long career in what you love to do, you're gonna get skipped in the line so fucking much, bro. You're gonna get skipped in the line so much, bro. It's like if you ain't never been to the club and you ain't never witnessed just because 3 girls look good, they get to skip the whole line.
Yeah.
And you probably one of the freshest people in the line, but homie, you got skipped, my nigga, just because the girls look good. Bam, that should just tell you how that's how life works.
Yeah.
It's such a simple analogy, but that's how it is in this industry. Bro, you just gonna get skipped sometimes, but then you might be in the line and somebody be like, yo, man, I fuck with your fit. What you doing? Like, oh, you want to roll with us? Because you fly as hell. Someone notice you. They may buy you some free drinks in the club. You just never know. That's how it is in the music industry, bro. It's just like, you stay to yourself. You keep pushing. You keep grinding. You always putting out your best work, putting on your best face, and giving people your best performances. And letting people really be able to receive your energy just like you want to receive theirs. Man, you just never know who's going to come up to you at the end of the night. You never know who's going to see that email. You just never know who you helped. Just never know, man. So you can't focus on that shit what other people doing. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Now, I like when you was talking about staying in your lane. Now, piggybacking on that, because that was going to be one of my questions to the younger audiences or to the inspiring artists and stuff like that who is going to be watching this video and is going to be looking to this interview for some words of encouragement. Now, staying in your lane, what would you express as far as words of encouragement to those artists who may be, looking at, certain things that's going on in the industry, and they're like, I don't know if I should keep doing this, or what would be your words of encouragement to them to keep them motivated?
Man, my words of encouragement for any artist or any upcoming entertainer, any up and coming entrepreneur, anybody who's up and coming in what they really feel like is their passion and purpose to do, is look at your timing. Always look to execute. It goes back to giving your best self. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, so don't be afraid to put out those rough drafts so people can get a feel for you. But it just really goes back to, man, just when I say stay in your lane, I mean, like, look at what's going on with you. Are you getting better in your craft? Are you behind the scenes moving and working hard, doing that groundwork? A lot of people may see someone on social media doing their thing and achieving great things, and it's just like all this love is being received, and you're just like, well, damn, fam. It's like, I'm trying to work on my shit too. How can I get like that? Well, are you doing the groundwork?
Yeah.
Are you pushing through? You in the studio? You getting that business plan together? Because that's all of that is important. You just can't get to the highlight reel. Yeah. All right, you got to play the whole game, fam. You got to play the whole game, and you got to look to that other person as motivation. I feel like we don't do that enough. I feel like we don't. Up and coming people don't look to other up and coming people for motivation. He's like, well, why he gotta have that, or why she gotta have that? She ain't even that good, or he ain't that good. It's like, I'm better.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's good to have that confidence, but you can't have the mentality of I'm better, or don't even have the whole like mindset of, oh, I gotta have a team behind my back. No, you don't. Your team starts with, first of all, the conversations you have with you and God. Like, bro, I've been off the scene. I ain't put out no music. I ain't had no performances ever since I graduated. You know what I'm saying? I ain't put out no podcast content, no nothing. Since I graduated, bro, and I did that on purpose. Because, for one, I needed to get back in shape mentally and physically and spiritually. And I need to spend time with my family, spend time with friends. This shit didn't need to be exploited on Snapchat and Instagram to feel a self of importance, a sense of importance. I feel like you don't think that your sense of importance only comes from the streams and the likes and the comments. Your sense of importance starts with you, and especially the most important relationship you can have, and that's with God. So I encourage anybody, man, to look to God for strength, talk to Him, and let Him put you in the places and put your mind and expand your mind to have that creativity and to see these things come to life, man. So that's really where.
Wait. What happened?
Yeah, hello?
Yo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay.
But I was just saying, man, just really just look to God for that strength and that guidance to let your creativity and your gift make room for you.
Cool.
Now, so that's what it's about.
Now, we all know, as artists, that everything isn't gumdrops and rainbows when it comes to this path that we're in. And this is a question that I ask to every person that I interview. Now, with you, what is a boundary or a setback that you've encountered while on this path that you're in, and what did you do to overcome it?
Let's see. Damn, it's been a few actually. I've had a few setbacks, man. I've had people tell me, I've had people tell me I suck to my face.
Wow.
And I've had people, I've had people tell me that straight up. It don't bother me though. It don't bother me. I actually look through it and I ask. I'd be like, why do you think I suck? Sometimes it's like your music isn't to my taste. Your voice, I really don't like your voice, or just it's certain little things. And then I'll have people like, yo, like I think you're so dope. I really love your sound. You know. So it's just people are gonna always have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But another thing I've really experienced, man, is just the boundaries that I'm learning now is because I have a brand and because I do 3 things underneath this brand. It's just knowing which pieces of content to put out, like having the discipline to know when it's time to put out some photography promotion, or knowing when it's time to promote my music, and knowing when it's time to promote a show coming up. It's just because you can end up overwhelming people with so much.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a gift and a curse to be talented and to have a brand that has so many different umbrellas that you're very good at. And people like you in all 3 of those categories. But it's just like sometimes you can't give people too much to choose from. So it's just having that discipline of knowing what to put out. You know. So that's where I'm at with things. And it's sometimes been a setback, and then there's been times where it's like, okay, it's okay to let everything just flow. It's okay to just give content because, like I said, if you disappear for a little minute, people will want that from you. That's why I disappeared for a minute, because it's like, I'm going to just chill. I'm going to live life, chill, experience some things personally. And that can be a setback too. Personal experiences can be a setback as well.
Cool. Now, this is about that time that I do my nigga we made it question. All right, so
okay, I'm ready for this.
So this is the nigga we made it question. So
okay.
So the nigga we made it question. Where did I do with it? Okay.
All right.
So I'll call this a nigga we made it question because even though we may not be quote unquote rich and famous yet,
right.
But we as artists and producers and performers, we've all had that moment in our life where we felt like, the stuff that we were doing at the time was just something that we just did for fun. So in your life, Elijah, what was that moment in your life when you was like, man, I can make a career out of this? Or have you felt like that you've reached that point in your life where you felt like that you've arrived as an artist or as a photographer or in the career path that you're doing?
Well, I've definitely not arrived in anything, honestly. Even if I did make it to a big platform, I still don't feel like I would ever arrive, because it's too much. It's too much to learn. It's too much to learn. It's too much backtracking. It's too much growing. It's just a lot. So I don't think I'll ever really be at the nigga we made it stature or any type of mindset. But I would say there's been highlights though. I'm like, when I started my podcast, I did it for fun, just to give myself the experience, and I realized people really started being drawn to it, and they really, really wanted to be a part of it, and they wanted to just really hop on the show. They thought it was so dope, so I was like, oh, that's what's up, getting some clout in Orlando, and then people in North Carolina were reaching out to me, and then I had people in different places. Some people overseas would somehow hear it.
Wow.
That's cool, And so I was like, okay, well, this is definitely something I want to do in my life. It's definitely something I want to be. This is what I strive to be. So it's good to know that people like you when you're on a small platform. And then when it comes to the music, man, or the photography, I would say with photography, I don't know. I think it's just more so like when people appreciate my editing, honestly. I think when people appreciate my edits and my style, I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up to me.
Now,
and I feel like with the music, my highlight with the music was when I was at Full Sail and I just dropped my EP and
on the spot. Well, no, I know this.
No. Oh, 3300 Rocky Front.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah. Some people from them hit me up for this one joint they was having, and they was like, "Yo, like we saw your project just came out. This was dope. You know, we wanna have you perform a few songs at our joint." And I was like, "Yo, that's what's up." So that was a highlight.
Ooh. Now, going back, what would you say would be the point where it went from you just doing it for fun to, okay, I want to make a career out of this, when it comes to the the career choices that you made?
Well, like I said, radio has always been something. Radio and television is always something I just started looking to for a while. That's why I got into media. It's always been the main goal. That's why my degree was in media. But when it came to the music, though, I want to say it started off as fun back in 9th grade. You know, just because my brother told me, you know, girls like guys who can sing. I thought that was so cool, and yeah, they like me or whatever. But nigga, that's the way to get friend zoned out the ass. Every girl wants to be friends with the nigga that can sing.
Really?
All right. Yeah, because they want you to be able to sing to them whenever they request it. They don't want to piss you off in a relationship, or you forget about them. That's just how it goes.
Oh man.
They feel like you that nigga right there. So it's that got me friend zoned a lot. I mean, they had girls like, oh my gosh, I love your voice, but I didn't really take it serious until like I said, my first year in North Carolina, freshman year in North Carolina, in college. Yeah, that's when I was just like, oh shit, I could make a career out of being a songwriter. I could make some money. I could write for a lot of doper artists who I feel are way more talented than me vocally. And just experience that element with them, the people I look up to. That's why when I put out music, I don't do it just as the artist. I do it as someone who's just giving you a sample, letting you know I can compete with you, but at the same time, I really just want to write for you. And if you want to cut that check, bam, cut that check. Like,
I feel you.
And, you know, but that's where it is with me right now. I take it serious. That's cool.
Now, man, I see that with all the different careers and stuff that you do. You sing, you're a photographer, you're a songwriter. I know that, you know, you're a very, very busy person, you know, when it comes to that. And I know with me, it's kind of hard for me because I rap, you know, I produce, I compose, I do interviews, I DJ. I wear a lot of hats as well. So I like to ask other artists, what are the things that you personally do to stay level-headed and to stay, to stay energized when you have all of these things that you're doing simultaneously sometimes. You know, I know that it can be hard as far as, you know, working, even though it's something that you love doing. What are some things that you do to stay level-headed or to stay, so you won't burn yourself out?
Take a break and push everything to the side. That's a must. I go play ball, I go play basketball, I work out. I drink coffee. I have my coffee in the mornings, and I like to be around water, like, you know. So if I'm around water, anything, like if it's a lake, if it's the pool, if it's the ocean, I don't care. You know, it just gives me time to clear my mind and just chill, really relax. I don't know, get out your house. I get out the house a lot. I go out a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like you gotta go out, bro. It's like you gotta let your mind really vent, because you still need to be able to stay social and emotional. So it's so that way, and you'd be surprised how you moving around doing all this stuff. It'll feed back into your content. It'll feed back into your creativity and how to tell more stories. You know, I feel like you can't tell stories with you just staying in your fucking house all day.
Yeah, because I know with me, when I'm producing or I'm writing or something like that, I can easily be a hermit. You know, stay in the house all
Yeah.
day. You know, writing. I look outside. 1 minute it's sunny. 1 minute it's pitch black dark, and I'm like, dang, where did they go?
You gotta move about. You gotta move throughout the day, man. Just it's okay because sometimes I do it, man. I stay in the crib all day, and I'll either go edit some photos, or I'll write some songs, or I'll chill, man, and just 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 write up some new styles of how I'm coming up with this new show, man. I got a new show coming out in 2018. Um, yeah, be on the lookout for that. Awkward on Purpose,
Cool.
coming to you 2018. Got a new EP coming out. Growing Pains, 2018 is coming out, man. Just new music on the way, new content on the way, but it's really low key. I think that's like I said, I've been off the scene on purpose, man, to just be low key. And I feel like when you give yourself the time to be low key and just enjoy life for everything that it has for you, you really feel that sense of knowing yourself more. You get a hold of things better. So
Cool.
that's really where it's at with it.
Well, man, you know, I know we were busy doing a lot of stuff, man. It was a pleasure having
Yeah.
you on. Interviewing you,
Man,
man.
it was a pleasure being on here, man.
And my last question, well, you kind of touched on it a little bit with your last couple sentences, but I kind of wanted you to reiterate it again, which is what
Okay.
is coming up next down the pipeline for Elijah Rosario? What you got going on, man? You got any? I know you said you had a show and an album and some other things. Just make sure you do tell the people how we can book you, how we can reach you, and different websites and stuff like that. I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, man. So I got a new podcast show coming out. It's gonna be a visual podcast. It's called Awkward on Purpose. Um, I'm excited about that. You guys will be seeing a couple of promo clips come up soon for that. But in 2018, that's dropping. I got a new EP coming out 2018. It's called Growing Pains. Growing Pains is pretty much discussing, like, I feel like I've only talked about bits and pieces through my college time, but Growing Pains is just going to express really everything that I've never really been vocal about. A lot of my thoughts, a lot of things. It's an interesting project as I write the lyrics, and it's an interesting process right now. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to book me for a photo shoot, or if you want to book me for a show, you want to book me to host anything for you, you can always reach out to me at Elijah Rosario at yahoo.com, or you can visit me on my website and contact me through there. It's elijahrosario.wix.com/portfolio1. You'll see the link pop up in this interview. And then just on Instagram, man, you can even reach out to me on Instagram. I got my professional Instagram.
Ooh.
There's IAME6. That is IAMESIX. You guys can reach out to me on there, man. And on my SoundCloud, check me out. It's just Elijah Rosario. Just be sure, to hit me up, man. Definitely got new content coming soon, and I'm excited.
Cool.
I'm excited,
That's what's up, man. Well, I've been Mr.BandClap, and this is Elijah Rosario, and this has been another episode of BandClap TV. We out.
Appreciate you having me, dog.